The vast majority of people in Britain are working class, and so would be very surprised to be told that they don't exist. However, it's quite a common idea that's ventured by Labour leaders or academics that because Marx was writing in the 19th century when workers were forced into factories or mines under appalling conditions, the fact that this situation doesn't exist anymore therefore means that Karl Marx's theories of class struggle are no longer relevant, don't apply. Apart from the fact that many working class people are still forced to work under appalling conditions in modern civilised Britain, the reason why we use Marxism as a theory is because Marxism is a science, and in order to understand whether there is a working class and what the working class is, we need a scientific definition of it. Since the development of capitalism, the world has increasingly been divided into two big classes. On the one hand, you have the ruling class, the capitalist class. This class lives by its ownership of the means of production. So, for example, a capitalist will own a business, and this business will produce a profit. And out of that profit, a large proportion will go to the maintenance of the capitalist. So this class, this capitalist class, live off the labour of others. Then, on the other hand, you have the working class, and the working class are forced to sell their labour power to whichever capitalist will buy it. We may have the freedom to choose which capitalist to sell our labour power to, but we are kept in this relation where we have to sell our labour power to some capitalist. So we can see that this approach, this Marxist approach, sees a person's class as being a result of that person's relation to the means of production. It's not due to arbitrary factors like the way someone speaks or whether they like hummus. Using this approach, we can see that class society still exists today. In fact, as Marx predicted, the development of capitalism has led to the working class growing in numbers. So, for example, on the one hand, we've seen the mass proletarianisation of the peasantry. The peasantry as a class barely exists anymore in Europe and many advanced capitalist countries. But then also, on the other hand, we've seen a proletarianisation of the middle class. If you can barely turn on the TV these days without seeing a protest by doctors or teachers. And these are groups of people that would previously be understood as middle class, as maybe not on the side of the working class, be right wing. And so the current state of society is making people conscious of this sharp divide between the working class and the capitalist class. And it is making people very conscious of what class they belong to. So, for example, the Social Attitude Survey recently found that 60% of people consider themselves working class. And this is the same level as in 1983, which was the year before the miners' strike. So it's clear that because the ruling class is forced, due to the logic of the capitalist system, to make cuts, people are waking up to the nature of the system, realising what side of the class divide that they are on, and the class struggle is very much still on the agenda.